ये है आपका वाला।
ये मेरा वाला है।
उसका वाला किस होगा?
Mama, please switch off the fan. Did you tired of
Greetings of the day, everyone. I welcome everyone to today's session. I hope I am audible. Can you please show your thumbs up? Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. All right, thank you so much. I welcome everyone once again to today's webinar. Thank you for your thumbs up. It is a pleasure to welcome you all in today's session on storytelling, a powerful pedagogy strategy. And in a world where learners are surrounded by information, storytelling helps us to transform information into understanding, then understanding into meaning, then other than meaning into last learning. So what we can do over the next hour, we will explore why storytelling matters a lot, how it aligns with NEP 2020 and CBSE visions for education, and side by side, the practical ways to integrate the storytelling across the subjects and grade levels. Let's begin our journey into the world where every lesson can become a story and every story can become a lesson. Let me share the screen.
कितने बच्चे हैं?
I request everyone to mute yourself. Yes. Storytelling about root pedagogy strategy, that is for CPT trainings for teachers, which is aligned with NEP 2020 and CBSE pedagogical framework. Let us begin with the ice-breaking activity. Now, I request everyone to use your chat box for your response. Just think of a story. What is the one story from your childhood that you still remember today? You can type only the title or a keyword in the chat box. For example, if you remember the Panchtantra, Akbar Birbal, Thirsty Crow, Cinderella, Tenali Rama, any other Thirsty Crow, that's your childhood. Have Honest Woodcutter, very nice. Birbal one, Cinderella, Tenali Rama, Cinderella. Perfectly, perfectly. Honest Woodcutter, Thirsty Crow, Tenali Rama. Hare and the Tortoise, very nice. Hare and the Tortoise also. So many years have passed, yet these stories remain in our minds. We may forget the facts, we may forget the dates, but the story stays with us. That is exactly why storytelling is such a powerful pedagogy strategy for today's classroom. Thank you for your responses in the chat box. Pyasa ka hua. Very nice. Thank you so much for your input. Next one. Now let us understand why this topic matters. Because as the teachers, we are preparing the learners for a rapidly changing world where critical thinking, creativity, communication, and problem solving are as important as the subject knowledge. But storytelling aligns perfectly with the vision of NEP 2020 and CBSE competency based education approach. So let's take one by one. Number one is NEP 2020 emphasizes joyful, experiential, and competency based learning. Now, here it means NEP encourages learning through experiences rather than memorization. So, students should understand, they apply, they analyze, and create knowledge. But how storytelling supports this? Stories create emotional connection, making learning meaningful and joyful. If we take the example here, let's take if a teacher is teaching in a class 5 grade and she has a topic of water cycle. So instead of explaining the evaporation, condensation, and precipitation through the definitions, teacher can tell the story. Or teacher can introduce that water droplet as a name of a droppy. I am a droppy, I am a droppy, just a water droplet. One sunny day, I rose into the sky as a water vapor and carry on with that story. So student visualize the journey and remember the concept longer. So the benefit part here, they have a better understanding. They will improve retention part. They have an increased participation and there will be development of imagination and creativity. Number two, when we talk about some CBSE promotes innovative pedagogies like storytellings, art of integration, and experiential learning. Now, here it means CBSE encourages teachers to move beyond the textbook and use innovative teaching strategies. Now, how storytelling helps here or supports here? Storytelling naturally integrates the drama. They naturally integrate the role play, art, music, and real life experiences. Let's take one more example here. If a teacher wants to teach a subject maths for a topic fraction, so teacher can introduce the story. Ma'am, you are not audible. Ma'am, can you please check your network connection or you rejoined? So teacher can narrate a story like this. There were the three friends, they ordered a pizza. One of them, Ria had or Ria ate half of the pizza and Arav ate 1/4 of the pizza and Kabir ate the remaining part. So in this case, students draw the pizza, act out the story and they calculate the fraction. So this integrates the mathematics, this integrates art as well as communication skills. So benefit part here, cross curriculum learning, active participation, better conceptual understanding. Number three, classrooms are moving from rote learning to meaning making learning. Now, what happens here? In traditional classrooms, teacher explains, student memorize, and then they go for the exam. But in modern classroom, student explore, connect the ideas, and they apply the learning part. So in whole, the storytelling helps students to make sense of information instead of memorizing facts. Let's take one more example here. If in a senior classes, teacher wants to teach the topic Harappan civilization, right? So instead of listing the facts, the planned cities, drainage systems, or the trade, teacher can narrate a story or she can tell the story. Hello everyone, meet Arya, a young girl living in Mohenjo-daros 4,500 years ago. And then teacher continues with the story related to that topic. Now what happens here? Students experience life in the civilization through her eyes. So the result will be students understand the daily life, they understand the culture, occupation, city planning, rather than just memorizing the isolated facts. Next one. Storytelling helps teachers to become facilitators of engagement, not just the content delivers. Now, what happens here? In traditional role, teacher is equivalent to source of information. But in modern role, teacher is equivalent to facilitator, guide, learning designer, or we can say storytelling shifts the focus from teaching to learning. Let's take one more example here. If in an environmental class, EVS class, we need to teach them about pollution. So teacher can begin a story. Oh, really? One morning, a little sparrow could not find a clean water to drink. Then suddenly teacher stops and asks, why do you think this happened? What problem is the sparrow facing? Or how can we help them? Now, here students discuss, they investigate and propose solutions for that. So what happened here, the basically teacher's role will be asking question, encouraging discussion and guiding thinking. And side by side, what will be the student's role? They explore the ideas. What happened with the sparrow? Why she is facing that problem? They collaborate the ideas with the friend and they create the solution. So benefit part here, this topic will be a student-centered learning, higher engagement, as well as inquiry, side-by-side problem skills. Next slide. Now, what exactly is storytelling in education? Now, by definition, if we say storytelling in education is much more than telling entertainment tales. It is a purposeful and structured teaching strategy that uses narratives to explain the concept, they develop the skills and make learning meaningful as well as memorable. So when teachers use the storytelling, they present the information through the sequence of the events involving the characters, situations, challenges, and solutions. So this basically helps students to connect emotionally and intellectually with that content. Number one, if we say it is a structured way of teaching concept through narratives. So instead of presenting the facts in isolation, teachers embedded learning within a story. How? Let's say another example in science, water cycle. So the traditional teaching was evaporation. The term's definition will be evaporation, condensation, precipitation. Now the storytelling approach says, hello everyone, meet the droppy, the tiny water droplet living in a pond. One sunny day, droppy rose into the sky as a water vapor. I'll show you the visual part also I have prepared in the next slide. So as a student, follow the droppy's journey and they naturally learn the stages of the water cycle. So why it works here? Because students remembers the journey of the character better than the list of the scientific terms with the definition of condensation, evaporation or precipitation. Number two is uses characters, emotions, conflict and resolution. Now every effective story contains 4 elements. Number one is character. When we say the people, animal, object, or even the concept in the story. For example, in mathematics class, we say the fraction becomes a character, right? So half, you can name that half portion is Harry and the quarter is Queen and the whole one is William. So we can talk about that with taking that names, characters' names. Number two is emotions. Now, story create feelings such as curiosity, excitement, empathy, or surprise. Another example here, story about a child struggling to save water during a drought helps students to understand the importance of water conservation. So they will understand the emotions, why the scarcity of water is there, why drought is there, and they will understand the importance of water conservation. Number third is conflict. That relates to your problem. A challenge that needs to be solved. So example again here in environmental class or the environmental protection, the animals in the forest cannot find clean water because the river is polluted. So they can have a conflict over there why the river is polluted, how can they drink the water, then they go and think over that. Number 4 is resolution. Now resolution means solution. The problem is solved through the actions or learning. Example, if we say the students suggest the ways to reduce the pollution and help the animals. Just a moment ago, I told the same thing. Next is different forms of storytelling. Now, storytelling can take many forms in the classroom. It can be oral storying, visual storying, digital storying, student-centered stories. Let's take one by one. Now, when we talk about the oral storytelling, teacher narrates a story using the voice, expression, and gestures. For example, in a history class or in a social science class, we need to teach them freedom movement, right? So the teacher can narrate a story in this way. Imagine you are a young boy in 1930 walking alongside with Mahatma Gandhi during the Dandi March. Now, students visualize that event and feel connected to history. The benefit part is it improves the listening skills, enhances the imagination, requires minimal resources. Number 2 type is visual storytelling. Now, stories can presented through pictures, illustration, comics, infographics, or story maps. For example, we say in English class, if we have a language class, show a sequence of images. You can show images. Once you show the seed, then you show the sapling, then you show a tree, then you show a bird nesting. Now, student create a story from the images only because the sequence are getting connected till the end. The benefit part here supports visual learners, encourages observation and creativity. It develops the speaking and writing skills. Number 3 type is digital storytelling. Now, stories can be created using digital tools such as Canva, PowerPoint, Book Creator, Adobe Express, or video recording apps. Hundreds of apps are there. You can create your story through AI tools also. I request Anuradha ma'am, please mute yourself. Now, for example, here if we have a digital storytelling, let's suppose we are having an environmental class, environmental studies. Now, student create a short digital story titled, you may say, a plastic bottles journey from the market to the ocean. So you have given a title over here and children will create a story or the Digi app will create a story. The benefit part is it develops the digital literacy. It promotes the creativity. It enhances the presentation skills also. Number 4 type is student created stories. Now, when we say student created stories, students become storytellers and create their own narratives to the demonstrative learning. Another example in maths class, if we say student oriented, the topic is data handling. Now, student create a story like Ria surveyed her classmates about their favorite fruits and she collected the data. So then they present the data using the charts as well as the graphs. So the benefit part is it encourages the ownership of learning. It develops the higher order thinking. It enhances communication skills. Next one, it connects learning with real life experience as well as emotions. Now, students learn best when they can relate learning to their lives. For example, if we have a topic of financial literacy. So instead of teaching budgeting through the definition, you can have a story of this thing. Okay, children, let's have a situation. Arav receives rupees 500 as a pocket money and wants to buy a cricket bat and save some money and buy a birthday gift for his friend. So how should he plan his expenses? Now, student here discuss and solve a real problem life. Result will be, Bharti ma'am, I request you to please mute yourself. So the result will be they learn budgeting, decision making, and financial responsibility in a meaningful context. For example, here, Bharti Sekar ma'am, please, I request you to mute yourself. Thank you. So let's have example here again, which connects learning real life experience. Supposingly, we have an English subject. So you can creating alternative endings to the story. You just start the story and leave it to the students so that they will create the end of that story. Or in mathematics, you have a fraction puzzle story. In science class, you have a journey of water droplet, which I will show in my slides also. Or in social science, you can have a day in a life of Harappan child. And in EVS class, we have already discussed a sparrow searching for a clean water. Next slide. NEP 2020 perspective. Now, NEP 2020 perspective means storytelling as a powerful pedagogy strategy. You can see on my slide, left side and right side. We will take one by one. The National Education Policy 2020 envisions the classroom where learning is joyful, experiential, learner-centered, as well as competency-based. So storytelling is one of the most effective strategies to achieve this vision because it engages the students cognitively, emotionally, as well as socially. So let's take number one, storytelling and experiential learning. Now, what NEP says here, learning should be based on experience, observation, and real life expectation or the real life applications rather than the memorization of facts. Now, how storytelling supports here? Stories may place students in a real or imagined situations where they can explore the concept through the experience. For example, supposingly in EVS class, we need to teach water conservation. So instead of explaining the water conservation through the facts, tell the story, which is go like, Ria lives in a village where the well have dried up. Every morning, she walks 2 kilometers to collect the water for her family. Now, teacher sees the situation, tell the story and ask the student, how might Ria feel? What challenges does she face? How can we conserve water? Now, after these questions, students connect emotionally and understand the importance of water conservation through experience. So the outcome will be real life understanding, problem solving skills, as well as greater engagement. Number two, storytelling and competency based education. Now here NEP says education should focus on competencies such as application, analysis, creativity, collaboration, and communication rather than rote learning. Now, how storytelling supports here? Stories encourage students to think, interpret, predict, discuss, and solve problems. Let's take example here. Supposingly in maths class, we have taken a fraction story. So stories goes like, three friends ordered a pizza. Ria ate half. Arav ate 1/4. And Kabir ate the remaining portion. Now, after the storyline, ask the student who ate the most. What fraction is left? Can you represent it visually? Now, here after these questions, students apply the mathematical concept in a meaningful context. So, basically competency develop critical thinking, problem solving, as well as application of knowledge. Number three, storytelling and joyful learning environment. Now, here NEP says learning should be enjoyable, engaging, and stress-free. Now, let's understand how storytelling supports here. Stories naturally sparks curiosity and excitement. Let's take example of a science class. Let's have a plant life cycle. So instead of teaching the stages directly, you can narrate a story. Hello everyone, I am Sunny the seed. Being a seed, I named myself Sunny. So one day I was planted deep inside the soil. Now student eagerly follows the Sunny's journey from the seed to plant. So the result will be students learn while enjoying the experience. Number 4 is storytelling and foundational literacy and numeracy. That is your FLN. Now here NEP says strong literacy and numeracy skills in early years are essential for future learning. Now let's understand how storytelling supports literacy. Stories help children to build vocabulary. Stories help children to improve listening skills, help children to develop reading comprehension, help children to strengthen speaking abilities. For example, in a language class, language learning class, you read a story and ask, who was the main character? What happened first? How did the story end? So students develop the sequencing and comprehension as well as the language skills. Now come to the right side of the slide. Now storytelling supports here with the 21st century competency. When we have a critical thinking, stories often presents problems, dilemma and situation that requires analysis. Supposingly in social science class, a village is facing severe water shortage. So what solutions can a villagers adopt? Now here students discuss the rainwater harvesting, water conservation, community participation. Now the final outcome will be students analyze the situation and evaluate the solution. Number 2, storytelling supports creativity, where we say stories encourage imagination and original thinking. If we are asking a student, what if animals could speak? Or imagine a world without electricity. Now here after this question, students create their own stories and ideas. Number 3, communication skills. Now storytelling develops speaking, listening, reading and writing skills. So after listening a story, students retell it their own words, they act it out, create an alternative ending, which is the outcome is they can gain the confidence, public speaking, language proficiency. Next is values and empathy building. Now stories help children to understand emotions, perspective and ethical choices. For example, we have a class of value education. So story goes like, a boy finds a lost wallet in his way home. Now you ask here, what should he do? Why is honesty important here? Now students reflect on values through the discussion. They gain the empathy, they gain the ethical decision making, they gain the social emotional learning. Next slide. Certificate link will be shared at the end of the session. Next slide is why storytelling works, the brain science behind it. So as teachers, we often wonder why students remember a story told a month ago, but forgets the fact learned last week. The answer lies here in how the human brain processes the information. Now, brain's research suggests that the stories engage multiple areas of the brain simultaneously, making learning more meaningful, memorable, and engaging. Number 1 says, stories actively, Ritu ma'am, please mute yourself. Stories activate both hemispheres of the brain. Now, how the brain works? The brain has two hemispheres that works together. Left hemisphere associated with logic, language, analysis, and facts and numbers. Whereas the right hemisphere associated with creativity, imagination, emotions, and visual thinking. So when students learn through facts alone, they mainly use the left hemisphere. But when students listen to the story, both hemispheres become active. For example, again in maths class, we need to teach fraction. When we take the fact-based teaching, we say one half is equal to 50%. Student may memorize the fact. But the storytelling approach says 3 friends ordered the pizza, Ria ate half of it, while other 2 friends shared the remaining half. Now, in the storytelling approach, students visualize the pizza, they think mathematically, they connect emotionally with the situation. So, both analytical and creative part of a brain engaged. Result will be learning becomes deeper and easier to recall. Next one, storytelling improves memory retention. Now, why? The brain remembers information better when it is connected to images, when it is connected to emotions, when it is connected to experience, as well as sequences of events. So stories naturally provide all of four. Let's have another example in science, water cycle. So what happened in traditional method, we have a term of evaporation, condensation, precipitation. So student may memorize the terms for the exam. But in storytelling method, we have the same story, the droppy, the water droplet. The droppy, the water droplet lived in a pond. One sunny day, he rose into the sky as a vapor. He joined the cloud and later he fell back to earth as a rain. Now, student remembers the droppy's journey and therefore they remember the scientific process also. So the classroom reflection will be, our students 6 weeks later also, they may forget the definition of evaporation, but they are more likely to remember the droppy's adventure journey. Why it happens? Because the brain stores the story as connected experience rather than isolated information. Next one, storytelling creates. Yes, ma'am. They can also learn with real life problems and experiences. Thank you for your input. Next is storytelling creates emotional connections. Now, why does emotion matters here? Because neuroscience shows that the emotions strengthen memory when students feel curious, when students feel excited, inspired, surprised, or concerned. So their brain pay greater attention and store information more effectively. For example, in a even EVS class, instead of stating like many birds are losing their habitats during the pollution, you should have a storytelling approach. You can have a story. A little sparrow returned to her nest one day. She finds that the tree had been cut down. Yes, definitely imagination and creativity also develops here. Problem solving thinking also develops. Thank you for your input. That shows you all are with me. So when we say, when we have a story that the little sparrow returned to the nest one day only to find that the tree had been cut down, students feel empathy for that sparrow. So the result will be the environmental message becomes meaningful and memorable. Next is storytelling increases attention span. Now, when we say attention span, the challenge is today's learners are surrounded by mobile phones. They are surrounded by social media. They are surrounded by constant notifications. Now, maintaining their attention can be difficult. But why stories help here? Stories create curiosity. The brain naturally wants to know the next step, what happened next, how will the problem will be solved, and what will the character do in the next step. Another example, if we take the history class. So instead of we say, today we will study Dandi March of 1930. So begin with, you have a storytelling approach. Imagine you are a 12-year-old child walking along with Mahatma Gandhi on a journey that will change the India's history forever. So immediately student becomes curious. So the result will be higher engagement and sustained attention. Number 5 is concept-based through stories are remembered longer facts alone. Why? Because the facts are often stored as separate piece of information. Stories create context, meaning, connections, as the brain remembers the connected information more easily. Another example here, if I remember here for the social science class, fact-based learning, when we have a Harappan civilization had a planned cities. right? They had a drainage system. They engaged in the trade. So student memorize the facts only. But when we have a storytelling approach, we can say, meet Arya, a young girl living in a Mohenjo-daro. Every morning, she walks through the clean street with a covered drain and visit her father's shop in the bustling marketplace. So now in this approach, student learn urban planning, drainage system, trade practices. Yes, ma'am. Definitely, when we have a senior students, we have to, but we need to plan before a day. Whatever we are going to teach them, we need to plan before a day. They will automatically imagine and during that period, and they have the relate also. Yes, thank you so much. Next one is key benefits of storytelling for students. Now, storytelling is not just engaging classroom activity. Okay, we need to narrate a story. We go and narrate a story and then period is over. No, it is not an activity. It is a powerful pedagogy strategy that supports the holistic development of learners. When stories are integrated into teaching, students become active participants in the learning process. They make learning meaningful, memorable, and enjoyable. Number one, we say is it makes learning interesting and joyful. Now, why it matters here? Because students learn best when they are emotionally engaged and genuinely interested in the lesson. Stories create curiosity, excitement, transforming the ordinary lessons into meaningful experiences. Another example, if your teacher needs to teach life cycle of butterfly. So instead of explaining the stages directly, there will be a egg, second step will be a caterpillar, then pupa, then butterfly. You can have a story here. You can name the character Bella, Bella the caterpillar. Bella the caterpillar dreamed of a flying one day. She patiently waited inside her cocoon until something magical happened. Now, then students eagerly follow Bella's journey and naturally they learn the life cycle of butterfly. So the benefit part is they increase the engagement, better attention span will be there, positive learning environment has been created. Number two, it enhances listening and speaking skills. Now, why it matters here again, storytelling provides opportunities for students to listen carefully, comprehend information, and express their thoughts confidently. Let's take example of language class. After narrating a story, ask student, what happened first? Who was your favorite character? How would you change the ending? Now, student listen attentively and share their responses. So you can have a classroom activity. You can have a think, pair, and share. You tell the students to listen a story, then discuss it with partner and share their ideas with the class. So the benefit part will be active listening will be there, vocabulary development will be there, improved communication skills will be developed, increased confidence in speaking also. Number three says build imagination and creativity. Now, why it matters here? Creativity is one of the most important 21st century skills. Stories encourage learners to imagine possibilities. They learn to imagine, to think creatively and generate new ideas. Yes, definitely 100% imagination, diverse thinking also. So let us imagine or take an example of creative writing. So your teacher's prompt will be, one morning you wake up and discover that animals can speak. Now what happened next? Now in this situation, students create the unique stories based on their imagination. When they say, one morning, imagine you wake up and discover that animals can speak. Now, what happened next? So, everybody will come up with their unique story based on their imagination. Number four is develop moral and social stories. Yes, ma'am, to give solutions also. Now, moral and social values, why it matters? Because the stories provide opportunities to discuss ethical choices, empathy, respect, kindness, and responsibility in a natural, meaningful way. For example, in a value education class, if we say a story, a child finds a wallet full of money on the road. So the discussion questions will be, what should the child do? Why is honesty important? How should you feel or if you lost your own wallet? So students reflect on values and understand the different perspectives. Next one, number 5 is it encourages inclusive classroom participation. Now, how it matters here and why it matters? Not all students learn in same way. Storytelling accommodates diverse learning styles and encouraging participation from all learners. And now, how it helps here? Storytelling supports visual learners, auditory learners, kinesthetic learners, which have through role and play and dramatization. They support language learners through vocabulary-rich context, right? One of the teacher is saying stories can transform their boring class into amazing. Definitely, ma'am. Thank you everyone for your input in the chat box on the ongoing session. I really liked it. Thank you so much. Yes, boring class into imagination class or the interesting class. Next one. Let's have a benefits of a storytelling for teachers. Everybody should get the benefit. If our students are getting benefit, teachers also getting benefits. Now, what are the benefits for the teachers? Storytelling is not only beneficial for students, it is also a powerful tool for teachers. It helps educators to create engaging, inclusive, and meaningful learning experiences while making teaching more effective and enjoyable. Let's take one by one. Number 1 says it improves classroom engagement. Easy learning happens. Yes, ma'am. Now, why it matters improves classroom engagement? Because one of the biggest challenge teacher face in maintaining students' attention and interest. Yes, we need to make a joyful learning. Perfectly. Thank you so much for your inputs. So stories naturally captures curiosity because students want to know what happened next. How will the problem be solved? And what will the character do? For example, if we need to teach solar system, right? So instead of listing the facts about the planets, you can begin with it. Meet the astro, a young astronaut who is about to embark on a journey across the solar system. So as an astro visit each planet, students learn about the size of the planet, temperature of the planet, unique feature of that planet. Long-term retention of facts and figures, definitely, ma'am. So the result will be students become active listeners rather than passive recipient of information. Number 2, it helps simplify complex concept. Now, why it matters here? Because many subject contains abstract or difficult concept that students struggle to understand. Or stories provide the context, make learning relatable. Let's take example in maths over here, fraction. So similar way, instead of explaining the fraction, represent the part of a whole. You can take a story on this. 3 friends, yes, a part of a whole, but we are not beginning with that definition. We have to generate the storytelling approach. So the 3 friends ordered a pizza. Ria ate half, Arav ate 1/4, and Kabir ate the remaining part. Why I am taking the same example over here? Because you remember the storytelling approach actually matters a lot with our brain side. So student can visualize and understand the fractions easily. Number 3 is it supports multilingual and diverse classrooms. Now, why it matters here? Because today's classroom includes students from different linguistic, culture, and learning background. So stories transcend language barriers through visuals, emotions, context, and familiar experiences. Supposingly, in primary classroom, a teacher narrates a story using simple English or the local language or a local language support, or she can use a picture and gestures. So even the students with a varying language proficiency can follow the story. For example, like in here, let's say a story about a family celebration can invite the students from a different cultural background to share their own tradition. What will be the benefit here for teachers? Teachers will get a greater inclusivity. Teacher will get a better participation from all learners, and there will be enhanced cultural understanding. Number 4, encourages an active learning environment. Why it matters here? Because NEP 2020 emphasizes active student-centered learning rather than passive listening. Socialization happens automatically. Yes, definitely, ma'am. That is why we are looking forward for the holistic development. That includes everything. Vaishnavi, ma'am, thank you so much. So, NEP 2020 emphasizes that the active student-centered learning rather than of passive listening. So, stories naturally lead to discussions, role plays, problem solving, and creative activities. Let's take one more example. Environmental studies. We can have a story. A river in a village is becoming polluted, and the villagers are worried. Now ask the student what caused the pollution. How can the villagers solve the problem? What would you do if you were there? Now here the student discuss and collaborate and they find out the purposeful solution. Benefit for teachers. Teachers will have an interactive classroom. Teacher will have a higher order thinking. Teacher will have an increased student ownership of learning. Number 5 is strengthen teacher-student connection. Now, effective learning happens when students feel connected to their teacher. Now, storytelling allows teacher to share experience, express emotions, create meaningful interactions. For example, if a teacher shares a personal story about overcoming a challenge while learning a new skill, so students relate to the experience, students feel inspired, students see the teacher as a mentor rather than just an instructor. Another example here, if you have during a value education lesson, students share their own stories after listening to a teacher's story about their kindness. So the benefit part is stronger relationship, greater trust and rapport, and improved classroom climate. Nextly, types of storytelling. Now, there are many types of storytelling in the classroom. You can choose the style as per your content or as per the grade you are teaching. Now, storytelling can be integrated into teaching in various ways depending on the learning objectives, age groups, subject, available resources. And by using different forms of storytelling, teachers can make learning more engaging, meaningful, as well as student-centered. Number 1 is traditional oral storytelling. Now, what exactly is this? Traditional old storytelling involves the narrating a story using the voice modulation, facial expression, gestures, and emotions without relying heavily on the technology or the visual aids. Right? And this is one of the oldest and the most natural form of teaching through stories. Now, why it works here? It captures students' attention. It actually develops listening skills. It stimulates the imagination. It builds the emotional connection. For example, in an EVS class, yes, it will be an enjoyable learning also. For example, in EVS class, importance of trees. Now, instead of explaining the benefits of trees through the points, you can have a story. Hello everyone. There was once stood a giant banyan tree in a village. It provided shade to travelers. It provided shelter to birds and fruits to animals. One day, the villagers decided to cut it down. Now, after this, stop yourself and ask, what happened next? How would the animal feel? What could the villagers do instead of that? So the learning outcomes will be environmental awareness, empathy, critical thinking,
क्या हो गया इसको?
etc. So make the teaching learning progress and creative and joyful. Yes, ma'am, definitely. Number 2 is
नहाने जा रहे हैं?
subject-based storytelling.
क्या?
Subject-based storytelling. Subject-based storytelling uses stories specifically
दिमाग से बात हो गई?
designed to teach concept
कौन
from
था?
different subject Miss Chauhan ma'am, please, I
इनकी
request
दुकान
you mute yourself. So it helps the student to understand the abstract ideas through the meaningful context. For example, we have a math story. It is written on the slide also. Mathematical concepts are introduced through real life situations and characters. Again, with the same example of fraction, 3 friends ordered a pizza. Ria ate half, Arav ate 1/4, and Kabir ate the remaining part. Now ask them, how much did each person eat? Who ate the most? And what fraction remained? So students learn the fraction through a relatable situation. If we have a same situation with the topic of multiplication. Now we can see a story. A farmer planted 8 rows of mango trees with 6 trees each row. Now, how many trees did he plant altogether? So students visualize the situations, the rows and the number of trees, then they find the solution for that problem. So what will be the benefit? Real life application, better conceptual understanding, and it will reduce maths anxiety. The next is science stories. That is your discoveries and experiment. It is in the B part only. Discoveries and experiment. So what is this here? Scientific concepts are explained through stories or discoveries, inventions, as well as scientific phenomena. For example, if we have to teach gravity, so you can tell the story of Isaac Newton. So one afternoon, Newton was sitting under a tree when he noticed an apple falling on the ground. So this simple observation led him to ask a powerful question. Why do things fall down, ma'am? Now students become curious about gravity. Another example, the same one, water cycle, the droppy, the water droplet in a pond, a hot day, he rose into the sky and began an exciting journey through the clouds. Then the students learn the evaporation, condensation, precipitation through the droppy's adventure journey. Next, number 3 is digital storytelling. Now, when we have a digital storytelling, it combines the narratives with technology, such as we can have videos, we can have animations, we can have PowerPoint presentation, we can have Canva, we can have book creator, we can have audio recording, we can have interactive digital tools also. So in today's learners are digital natives and often respond positively to the multimedia content. Right. So another example here for social science with the digital telling, storytelling. Student create a digital telling situation or the story titled here. No, it doesn't happen, ma'am. It doesn't minimize the child imagination. Indeed, now I am telling you the example. Tell the child to create a digital story. When he gives the prompt to AI tool or any other tool which he is using, he will definitely develop the imagination. So the social science class teacher has given a task to find out the digital story. So she has given a prompt, a day in a life of a child during the Indus Valley civilization. So when the child is typing this prompt, he will definitely get to know beforehand what exactly happened in the Indus Valley civilization. So they use the images, they use the voice narration, they use the music, they use the text to bring the history to life. Next one, student story creation. Now, what exactly here? In this approach, students become storytellers by creating writing, illustrating, recording, or presenting their own stories. So this present the highest level of engagement because the students are actively constructing knowledge. Now, why it matters here? Because instead of consuming the stories, students create them. This promotes creativity, ownership of learning, as well as higher order thinking skills. Next one. Now, classroom implementation strategies. I would take next 10 minutes more to wind up this webinar. Classroom implemented strategies means storytelling becomes truly powerful when it is intentionally integrated into everyday's teaching. Now, their simple strategies can transform your ordinary lesson into engaging and meaningful learning experience. Right? First one, storytelling helps children to better making concept, and definitely, ma'am. Number one is begin the lesson with a story, short story hook. Now, what is the short story hook? A story hook is a brief, interesting narrative or a scenario used at the beginning of a lesson just to capture students' attention and spark curiosity. Why it works? Because the first few minutes of a lesson are crucial, especially in pre-primary. A story hook immediately engages learners and prepares them for the concept being taught. For example, we have a water conservation in science class. So instead of starting with a definition, begin with a story. Once upon a time, Ria woke up one morning and turned on the tap, but not a single drop of water came out. Her family had no water for drinking, cooking, bathing. What do you think what happened? Now, students become curious and eager to know about water scarcity as well as conservation. Next one, embedded concept with a narrative. Now, it means here, instead of teaching the concept as isolated facts, place them inside the story where the characters encounter the situations related to the lessons. For example, again in a science class, we need to teach food chain. So instead of presenting that diagram, we can say a grasshopper was happily eating the grass in the middle. Suddenly, a frog spotted the grasshopper. Here, student learn the producer, student learn about the consumer, student learn about the predator through the story. Next one, use real life examples and local context. Now, why it matters here? Why using the simple language and simple examples? Students learn better when they connect with the classroom concept to their own experience and surroundings. For example, in environmental studies, if teaching a waste management, create a story based on a local community only. You can have a story. There was a park near our school was once clean and beautiful. One day, children noticed plastic bottles and wrappers everywhere. Now, students immediately relate to that situation. With the same case in mathematics, we can have a story. The local vegetable vendor sold 15 kgs of tomatoes in the morning and 12 kgs in the afternoon. Now, how many kilograms did he sell altogether in a day? Now, here also students connect the mathematics with the real life or everyday life situation. The benefit part is meaningful learning, increase the relevance. It has a better engagement also. Number 4, encourage students to complete or create stories. Now, why it matters here? When students create stories, they become active participants rather than passive listeners. For example, in a language class, you can have provide a story starter. You just provide a story starter with one line. So let's say one day, while walking on a road towards school, I found a mysterious box, black. Tell them to complete the story in their own words. So ask students to complete the story, ask them to draw the ending, ask them to share the ideas orally. Same here in the water cycle in science class, we can give a prompt here. I am a tiny water droplet, beginning with my journey, then leave the blank. Ask them to continue the story while explaining the water cycle. Here the benefit part is they will come up with their creativity, they will come up with their communication skills, and they will come up with their ownership of learning. Number 5 is integrate role play and dramatization. Now, why it matters here? Acting out stories allows students to experience learning rather than simply hear about it. For example, in science class, students feel the class as interesting. Yes, definitely. For example, in social science class, freedom movement, we need to topic is freedom movement. Students have a role play of Mahatma Gandhi. They can have a role play of freedom fighters. They can have a citizens participating in Dandi March. They become energetic also. Definitely, ma'am. This helps to understand the historical events more deeply. Next one, number 6 is use open-ended questioning during the storytelling. Now, why it is matter a lot? Because questions encourage students to think, predict, analyze, and reflect rather than simply listen. Supposingly, question number 1 you can have, why do you think happens next? Whatever the story is going on, you can ask open-ended question. Or you can ask, why did that character choose this? And follow on related to that story. Next one, let's have one example in the science class. This is what I was talking about in the beginning. This is a visual display, emotional and memorable. The water cycle, we need to have a explanation in the science class, a water droplets journey. So one of the biggest challenge in science teaching is helping students to understand the abstract process that they cannot directly observe. Storytelling transforms these concepts into meaningful experiences by giving scientific phenomena a character, a journey, a purpose. So we can have the water cycle in a perfect example of how storytelling can make the science engaging, visual, and memorable. So let's have traditional teaching versus storytelling. So in this traditional approach will be teacher can explain the definition of evaporation, condensation, and rainfall. But in storytelling approach, teacher introduces the character. Hello everyone, meet the droppy, the tiny water droplet living in a pond. Students follow the droppy adventure through the water cycle. Now the scientific process becomes a story rather than the list of facts.
Bhairav, சீக்கிரம் முடி.
Nitya ma'am, please mute yourself. So the part 1 we can have, if we have to teach evaporation, we can say, hi everyone, my name is Droppy. I live happily in a pond near a village. But one sunny day, the sun smiled brightly and warmed the water around me. I felt lighter and lighter until suddenly I floated up into the sky. The teacher asked, what made the droppy rise into the air? Why do you think happened to him? Just a second. All right. So the first part we told them and how to narrate a story for evaporation. Now the concept is clear. Water changes into water vapors during to heat from the sun. Now the part 2 is condensation. As I traveled higher into the sky, the air becomes cooler. Soon I met thousands of other water droplets. Together we formed a fluffy white cloud. Now the teacher asked, why did the droppy join other droplets? What happened when the warm air cools up? So the science concept condensation means the water vapor cools and changes back into the tiny water droplets forming the clouds. So here the student learning is students imagine cloud formation as a gathering of tiny droplet. Now part number 3, rainfall. Now rainfall, that means precipitation. So student, we can have a story here. Our clouds become bigger and heavier. We could not no longer stay in the sky. Suddenly we begin falling back to the earth as a rain. Now here teacher can ask, why did the cloud release the rain? Where might the droppy land next? So the science concept, precipitation clear, water falls back to the earth as rain, snow, sleet or hail. Now student learning will be, students connect rainfall with the journey of water droplet, beginning of the evaporation. Number 4 part is collection. Now in collection we have I landed in a river and eventually returned to the pond where my journey began. But I know my adventure will start over again. Now here teacher will ask, is the water cycle ever ending? What do you think happened next? Now here the collection concept will be clear that the water gathers in the river, lakes, ponds and oceans before the cycle repeats. So student learning will be student understand that the water cycle is continuous, right? I have next another example over here if you wish me to continue with that. Supposingly in a class, we need to tell them or teach democracy. Now, how can we teach them in democracy? Through storytelling. Now, democracy is an important concept in social science, but many students' terms such as elections, voting, representation, or citizenship can be seen abstract. So, storytelling helps to bring these concepts to the life by placing students in a familiar as well as the relatable situations. So, instead of simply defining democracy, teachers can create a story and stimulation where students experience democracy firsthand, like traditional teaching versus storytelling. If we have a traditional approach, we can have here traditional approach and teacher explains the democracy is a form of government and citizens elect representatives and elections are conducted through voting, right? So student memorizes the definition and facts. But in storytelling approach, teacher begins with a story. One day, a student or the students of the so-and-so school faced a problem. They wanted to organize a fun day, but everyone had different ideas about the activities. So their teacher suggested electing a class leader who could represent everyone's views, thus begin with a classroom election. Students become a part of a story and learn democracy through the experience. Right? Let me just. All right. Now we have a role of a teacher in storytelling pedagogy. So we can have in a storytelling based classroom, teacher's role extend beyond the delivering content, where the teacher becomes a designer of a learning experience, helping students to connect knowledge with emotions, imaginations, and real life situations. So storytelling shifts the classroom from teacher-centered model towards the learner-centered model, where students actively engage, think, discuss, and reflect. So the teacher in short will be a story designer, guide for reflection, facilitator of discussion, as well as a connector between story and curriculum. Next slide. Inclusive classroom through stories. Now, one of the greatest strengths of the stories here, it is the ability to bring people together. Every child comes to the classroom with a unique background, language, culture, ability, and life experience. So stories help teachers to create an environment where every learner feels seen, valued, and included. So storytelling is not just a teaching strategy, it is actually a bridge that connects diverse learners and promotes the understanding, respect, and belongings. So NEP emphasizes inclusive and equitable education through such approaches. So where we need empathy, respect, and social harmony. Next slide. We have a different tools for storytelling. So storytelling becomes even more effective when supported by appropriate tools. You can have a screenshot of this slide also. Teachers make stories more engaging, interactive, visuals, and memorable. The good news is that the storytelling does not require expensive technology. Simple classroom materials can be used just as powerful as digital tools. So we can have flashcards, props, puppets, story maps, digital tools, as well as we have a Diksha CBSE e-content resources also, where we can create number of story which can be helpful for our kids. So imagine, create, share, and inspire. The final key takeaway will say, when we teach through stories, we don't just deliver the content, we create experiences that actually last a lifetime. So engages mind, deepens learning, builds connection, develops value, creates impact. So teach a lesson today, inspire a life forever. So thank you everyone. Let's make learning joyful, meaningful, and memorable through storytelling, because stories connect, stories inspire, stories stay forever. Thank you once again. Have a nice day.